Could this be the most iconic airport hotel in the world? Join me as I step back in time to the 1960s to spend the night at the TWA Hotel in New York City. The TWA Hotel is located in New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport and is the only on-airport hotel that is directly connected to the terminals. The futuristic building was designed by famed architect Eero Saarinen, was completed in 1962 and served as the hub of Transworld Airlines until the airline ceased operations in 2001. Following an extensive restoration and addition of the two wings for the hotel rooms, the building reopened in 2019 as the TWA Hotel. The main terminal building, also known as the Head House, is famous for its sweeping curves, expansive public areas, and the near absence of corners. Walking inside feels more like entering a museum than a hotel, with many memorabilia, split-flap departure board with the curved desk made from one marble slab, and the sunken lounge, which really brings back visitors to the golden age of air travel. Getting here is fairly easy. Simply take the air train to Terminal 5 and follow the signs toward the TWA Hotel. As you make your way up through the enclosed walkway, you'll catch some glimpses of the architectural marvel. And once you descended into the baggage claim area of JetBlue's Terminal 5, make sure to look to your right for the small red-walled corner with the elevator entrance that will transport guests literally from the present-day JetBlue back to the world of 1960s aviation. On exiting the elevator, you'll be greeted by Howard Hughes' office, who was instrumental in leading the expansion of the airline during its heyday. On display on the work desk was a model of Connie and the many innovations introduced by the TWA. It was then time for me to walk the red-carpeted flight tubes towards the main building, which has been featured in films including the 2002 movie Catch Me If You Can. Entering the head house was always such a delight, and it's hard not to be distracted by the many architectural and decorative details of the building, including this vintage two-seater BMW, which pointed me the direction for check-in. I was directed by the staff to the self-check-in kiosk, which was quite simple to use actually. I prepared my room key and took the hotel map before heading up, with excitement to see my room. For the night, I'm staying at a deluxe room with runway view in the Hughes Wing. I paid $596 in total, so the obvious question is it worth it? At first glance, the room feels comfortable with plenty of mid-century modern touches, including the red Saarinen chair, light fixtures, and this vintage rotary phone. The king bed was comfortable with side tables that also has a wireless phone charger. Behind the bed was the study area with a warm wood accent. I was a bit confused about this decision to place a garbage mat on the desk and directly behind my headboard. But regardless, the desk was filled with ample nostalgic memorabilia, including a stack of TWA pencils, notepads, and some type historical descriptions of the Flight Center and Mr. Saarinen. On the table was also this vintage Life magazine. It was definitely fun to flip through and read the vintage articles and advertisement. Space is definitely at a premium here, particularly when it comes to storage and closet space. But adjacent to the hangars, I was drawn to this mid-century style bar area with this cute coaster featuring Connie. The bathroom was clean and spacious enough, with a walk-in shower and vanity lights that gave the entire space an old Hollywood charm. The best thing about this room is undoubtedly the view. How crazy is it to be able to watch the activity of one of the busiest airports in the world from the comfort of your own bed, such as this Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350 bound to London Heathrow and this massive Emirates Airbus A380 with refreshed livery arriving from Dubai. But, as impressive as the runway views are from the room, I really need to show you something even better. So for that, let's head up the elevator to the rooftop of the Hughes Wing. 2 steps away from the elevator is the pool bar and the hotel's heated infinity rooftop pool, which offers a spectacular views overlooking the tarmac and runways of JFK Terminal 4 and 5. I decided to grab a beer and spend some time relaxing in the pool. It was heated after all. Honestly, it's hard to think of another airport hotel where you can enjoy a drink in the pool while watching wide-body aircrafts taxiing by just a few hundred feet away. Since it can get a little chilly up here, you can also enjoy the view from the covered and heated bar area, which is filled with vintage TWA touches and several observation binoculars that are perfect for aviation enthusiasts. I came here also during Christmas, and the bar was sweetly decorated as a winter chalet with a fireplace and some festive Christmas ornaments. As the sun began to set, the atmosphere became even more magical. But eventually, I got a bit hungry and it was time to think about dinner. After cleaning myself up, I went down to the flight center. There are several grab-and-go and fast food options on the ground floor, but tonight, I decided to walk up the stairs to the second floor for a dinner at the Paris Café. The space truly is quite beautiful, featuring the original large curved windows and the subtle mid-century design touches. The menu was fairly simple, but admittedly a little pricey. I started off with a cocktail and I went with the yuzu drop, and for dinner, I am truly a sucker for fish and chips. After dinner, I spent some time exploring the flight center and taking in the incredible attention to detail spread throughout the property. From the warmly lit entrance foyer, to the iconic split-flap departure board with ceramic tiles, to the 1960s pink beauty salon display and the playful twister room. It really feels like stepping into a preserved piece of aviation history. I forgot to mention as well that on the second floor was the Ambassadors Club, featuring fascinating exhibits showcasing the history and ever-changing uniforms and luggage of the TWA's pilots and flight attendants, offering a glimpse into an era long gone. Adjacent to the displays are also plenty of quiet sitting areas with subtle water features, and even a hidden nook, also known as the Pope Room. This room was actually used during Pope John Paul II's visit to New York in 1995. One thing I really appreciated was how committed the hotel is to the theme. Even the hallways were decked out with vintage TWA destination posters. But perhaps the most iconic attraction on the property sits just beyond the famous sunken lounge on the outside. The Lockheed Constellation, affectionately known as Connie, once served as part of TWA's long-haul fleet. Today, one of these aircrafts has been restored and transformed into one of the most unique cocktail bars you'll ever find anywhere. Stepping inside was a reminder of how glamorous air travel used to be. Visitors can even take a peek inside the cockpit. After finishing my cocktail, I continued my self-guided exploration for the night. I walked through the flight tube and landed on what's called the 1962 living room, which was vibrant and a cool place to relax. As the night continues, I think it is truly time for me to head up to my room and call it a night. It's fair to mention that they invested a lot on the thick glass windows. I heard nothing of the jets from my room and slept very comfortably. I opened my curtain and woke up to JFK already bustling with activities. Once I made my way down to the flight center before checking out, I made a final stop to the TWA shop, which was filled with tempting souvenirs. But amongst the options, I decided to buy this copy of Designing TWA coffee table for my dad. Soon enough, it was time for me to catch my flight. So, let's see. Is the nearly $600 price tag worth it? Well, if you love aviation, architecture, or seeking a one-of-a-kind travel experience for an exciting layover, I don't think there's anything like the TWA. Between the beautifully restored flight center, rooftop infinity pool overlooking the runways, Connie, and the incredible attention to detail, this really felt less like a typical hotel stay and more like spending a night on a living aviation museum. And perhaps that's what makes the TWA Hotel so special. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.